Whispers from the Dark, Ghosts That Won't Let Go. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. Chapter 1, The House on Willow Street. The old house on Willow Street had stood abandoned for decades, its once pristine facade now shrouded in ivy and neglect. Locals called it the Whispering House. Rumors of strange voices, fleeting shadows, and cold drafts that moved against the wind swirled through the small town of Ravenshollow. But for Elise Carter, it was an opportunity. Elise was an investigative journalist known for her deep dives into unsolved mysteries. When she first heard about the Whispering House, she was captivated. It was a chance to uncover a truth buried beneath years of fear and speculation. With her trusty recorder, a flashlight, and a notebook, Elise decided to spend a weekend in the house to document her findings. The moment she stepped through the creaking door, a chill ran down her spine. The air felt heavy, as though the house itself was holding its breath. Dust motes danced in the dim light streaming through broken windows. Every step she took echoed eerily, as if the house were alive and listening. She set up her equipment in the grand parlor, its once opulent furniture now cloaked in dust and decay. As night fell, the whispers began. Chapter 2, Voices in the Night. At first it was subtle, a faint murmur, almost imperceptible, like the sound of leaves rustling in the wind. Elise paused, straining to listen. The whispers grew louder, forming disjointed words that seemed to drift from the walls. "Help! Me!" Elise's heart raced. She grabbed her recorder and followed the sound, her flashlight cutting through the darkness. The whispers led her to the basement door, its surface marred with deep scratches. She hesitated before pushing it open. The basement was colder than the rest of the house, the air thick with the scent of mildew. Her flashlight beam caught something unusual, a series of symbols etched into the stone walls. They looked ancient, their meanings indecipherable. As she examined the markings, the whispers intensified. They overlapped, voices pleading, crying, and sometimes shouting. Elise's hands trembled as she recorded everything. She felt a sudden gust of icy wind and turned sharply, but nothing was there. She wasn't alone, and she knew it. Chapter 3, The Trapped Souls. By dawn, Elise had pieced together a rough narrative from the whispers. The house had once belonged to the Blackwood family, wealthy landowners with a dark reputation. In the late 1800s, several servants and tenants had vanished without a trace. The townsfolk whispered about occult rituals and human sacrifices, but no evidence had ever been found. Elise spent the next day scouring the town archives. Old newspapers confirmed the disappearances and hinted at a police investigation that abruptly ended. One article mentioned a priest who attempted to cleanse the house, but disappeared himself. Armed with this knowledge, Elise returned to the house that evening, determined to uncover the truth. She ventured back to the basement and began filming the symbols. As she did, the whispers coalesced into a single, chilling voice. "You shouldn't be here." Elise froze. The voice was deep and guttural, unlike the others. The room grew colder, and the flashlight flickered. A shadow moved in the corner of her eye. When she turned, she saw a figure, tall and shrouded in darkness, its eyes glowing faintly. "They won't let go," the figure said, stepping closer. "And now, neither will you." Chapter 4, Bound to the House. Elise tried to run, but the basement door slammed shut. The whispers became deafening, a cacophony of pain and anger. The figure loomed over her, and suddenly she was flooded with visions, faces twisted in terror, hands reaching out for help, blood pooling on the floor. She realized the truth. The souls trapped in the house were victims, their lives taken in a horrific ritual meant to grant immortality. But the ritual had failed, binding the victims' spirits to the house. And to the Blackwood patriarch, the dark figure now standing before her. Elise's journalistic instincts kicked in. She demanded to know what the figure wanted. It tilted its head, as if amused. "Freedom," it said, "but not for them, for me." Epilogue. The Whispering House was no longer haunted by its victims, but Elise had become its new keeper. The entity's curse had passed to her, and the whispers would never let her go. Yet she vowed to use her newfound connection to help other lost souls find peace, even if it meant carrying the darkness with her forever.